My voice is audible?
Yes.
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 Yes, ma'am.
Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Hello, am I audible? Priya, madam?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
इथून बाहेर आपला आवाज आहे ना म्यूट कर Hello. बंदच करते. हॅलो.
हॅलो.
हा सर जॉईन झालाय ना? येस सर.
हॅलो.
सर नमस्कार. आवाज येतोय? येतोय सर.
हा नमस्कार नमस्कार.
हो
माझा येतोय
yes.
ऐकू?
हो येतोय सर. येतोय. येस सर. येस सर.
येस येस. सुरू करायचे?
ठाकरे सर मला वाटतं सुरू करू आपण.
Yes, sir.
हा प्लीज स्टार्ट. या.
Yes, sir.
माझा आवाज येतोय?
या. येस.
Okay. A very hearty morning to everyone joining us today. I, Professor Mrs. Priya Sandeep Deshpande, Faculty Coordinator of the conference, welcome all the honorable dignitaries and the participants to this virtual international conference on gender equality and women empowerment 2023. Let us take blessings from Goddess Saraswati. Video, please.
या कुन्देन्दु तुषारहार धवला या शुभ्रवस्त्रावृता या वीणावरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युतशङ्कर प्रभृतिभिर्देवैः सदा वन्दिता सा मां पातु सरस्वती.
Thank you. To start with, we would like to share a small clip about Pune Vidyarthi Griha and Pune Vidyarthi Griha's College of Engineering and Technology and GK Patewani Institute of Management, Pune. Video, please.
Welcome to Pune Vidyarthi Group. Pune Vidyarthi Group, formerly known as Anath Vidyarthi Group, came into existence in the year of 1909 on 12th May by a group of dedicated and visionary social workers with the motto to provide education to those students who do not have money but who have clever brain and ambitions in mind. Many students were not having homes or shelters for them and even a school where they would have get an education. This task was shouldered by Pune Vidyarthi Group. Now the institute had its own premises at Sadashivpet, a premises at Vidyanagari, Nashik and Mumbai, from where the work of motivations for bringing the society through the education and other activities are being done with utmost strength and practicality. Under the parent institute of PVG, Pune Vidyarthi Group College of Engineering and Technology and GK Patewani Institute of Management was established in the year of 1985. This institute is affiliated to Savitribai Phule Pune University, an accredited A by NAC, and one of the reputed engineering college in India. College provides courses of engineering disciplines of electrical, electronics and telecommunication, mechanical, printing, computer, information technology, and artificial intelligence and data sciences. College offers some of the most advanced platform in infrastructure to its students. The college also provides distributed internet facility, banking facility, boys hostels, canteen, and self-house facility, all the also provides central purpose facility. The vision statement of the institute is to achieve excellence in engineering education with mission statement to satisfy all stakeholders to develop ethical, highly motivated engineering professionals.
Thank you. Now let us showcase the contributions of various eminent personalities across the world whose work was revolutionary for gender equality and women empowerment through a small video clip. Video please.
ठीक है.
Thank you. It's them who laid the foundation for gender equality and women empowerment. Now, I request respected Dr. YB Thakre, Head ENTC Department and Convener ICGEWE 2023 to present welcome speech.
Uh, am I audible, madam?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning and happy Women's Day to all. Chief guest of today's International Conference on Gender Equality and Women Empowerment, ICGEWE 2023, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Srimati Nathibai Damodar Thakresi Women University, Dr. Ujjwala Chakradev, Guest of Honor and Chief Patron of ICGEWE 2023, Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor Dr. Sanju Sonavne, Honorable Chairman of Pune Vidyarthi Griha and Director of PVG COET and GKPIM Pune and Chief Patron of ICGEWE 2023, SP Redekar, Honorable Vice Chairman Pune Vidyarthi Griha Shri SM Jirge Sir, Honorable Secretary Pune Vidyarthi Griha Professor Rajendra Rajendra Kamble, Honorable Director PVG COET and GKPIM Pune and Chief Patron ICGEWE 2023, Professor RG Kaduskar, our guest of pride and keynote speaker, Honorable Dr. Alka Madan Chopra, founder of Global Women Power and President of Soul Body Healing Center from USA. Our guest of pride and keynote speaker, Honorable Dr. Nita Inamdar, Professor and Head, Manipal Academy of Higher Education from Manipal. Our guest of pride and keynote speaker, Honorable Dr. Aishwarya Patil, co-founder and director, Astral Education from Ireland. Our guest of pride and keynote speaker, Honorable Dr. Priyadarshini Karve, Managing Director, Samuchit Environmental Technologies, Pune. Honorable Dr. Radhika Inamdar, Principal, Tilak College of Education and Secretary, Shikshan Prasarak Mandali, a well-known education trust, Pune. Honorable Dr. Megha Uplane, ex-head Department of Education and Extension, SPPU, Pune. Honorable Dr. Ashutosh Vyas, President, Rajasthan Sociological Association. All the honorable advisory board members and
Dr.
reviewers as
Radhika
well as
Inam.
session chairs of ICGEWE 2023. Our respected principal of PVG COET and GKPIM Pune and patron of ICGEWE 2023, Dr. M.R. Tarambale. Coordinator ICGEWE 2023, Professor P.S. Deshpande and co-coordinator Dr. S.R. Litke. HODs of various departments, all faculty members, and all the participants of the ICGEWE 2023. I, Dr. Yogesh V. Thakre, convener of ICGEWE 2023, welcome you all for 2 days virtual international conference on gender equality and women empowerment, ICGEWE 2023. This is the third year of hosting this conference in Pune Vidyarthi Griha. ICGEWE 2023 is hosted by Department of Electronics, PVG, COET and GKPIM Pune in association with Department of Education and Extension, SPPU Pune and Rajasthan Sociological Association on 8th and 9th March 2023 to celebrate International Women's Day. Total 296 registered participants from various parts of the world are taking part in the conference. More than 37 research papers will be presented in this conference. Besides, the conference is open to all through YouTube streaming for non-registered participants. Gender equality enables access to rights and opportunities irrespective of gender. Gender equality is a fundamental human right to achieve peaceful societies for sustainable development with full human potential. Gender equality is one of the 17 sustainable development goals of UNESCO to be fulfilled till 2030. Whereas women empowerment becomes necessary for the development of the society and control own lives of women and to acquire abilities to make strategic decisions. According to Mahatma Gandhi, if you educate a man, you educate an individual. But if you educate a woman, you educate the whole family. The family, which may consist of variety of genders. I hope this conference can inspire the society for gender equality and women empowerment for holistic and sustainable development of the justful society and broaden the social connect to fulfill the objectives of this conference. I, on behalf of ICGEWE organizing team, am thankful to all the honorable dignitaries for sparing their valuable time for ICGEWE 2023 and wish all the best to all the participants. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now let me walk you through the conference theme. Honorable late Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam said, empowering women is a prerequisite for creating a good nation. When women are empowered, society with stability is assured. Empowerment of women is essential as their value system leads to the development of a good family society, and ultimately a good nation. While Honorable Rashtrapati Mahatma Gandhi said, my idea of society is that while we are born equal, meaning that we have a right to equal opportunity, all have not the same capacity. So it's time to bring all the thoughts to the table and create a better, equal, and equitable society for women and all. The conference is scheduled on 8th and 9th March 2023 to celebrate the International Women's Day. The conference presents addresses by eminent personalities, followed by paper presentations by researchers from various countries and institutes. On Friday, 10th March 2023, an exhibition is organized in college campus so as to contribute to the society and to empower the women. This includes the products made by the various women empowerment sections of NGOs, foundations, which includes Seva Sahyog Women Empowerment Program, Tana Bana, which are the products from Adivasi women of Yavatmal district, and the Mandeshi Foundation. Also, a debate competition on the topics of gender equality and women empowerment is organized for all the students that will provide a platform for the young generation to express their perspectives on the above mentioned topics. I assure you that this conference will prove to be fruitful and informative for all the members participating in the conference. I am sure that this event will be an immense success and a boon for all the participants. Now, I request respected Dr. Manoj Tarambe, in charge principal, PVG COET and GKPIM Pune, and patron ICGEWE 2023 to address the gathering.
Thank you, madam. Honorable Dr. Ujwala Chakradev, madam, Vice Chancellor, SNDT Women's University. Dr. Sanjeev Sonavane, sir, Pro Vice Chancellor, SPPU. Honorable Shri Sunil Redekar, sir, Chairman, PVG. Honorable Professor Rajendra Kamble, sir, Secretary, PVG. Honorable Professor Rajendra Kaduskar, sir, Director of this institute. All participants, attendees, I, Dr. Manoj Tarambale, in charge principal, welcome you for this third international conference on gender equality and women empowerment. So when we say gender equality, so do not consider it is only men and women, but the third part, which is to be addressed by the society, is nothing but a transgender. And women empowerment is the topic which is not only addressed by us, but across the globe, because of several activities women has to do during their day-to-day activity. So I congratulate the Department of ENTC for organizing conference apart from their technical curriculum. I hope in coming days, this conference will become a strength of PVG to inculcate the idea and respect about the woman and gender in the market. I hope this conference will be a great success. 37 presentations will be there and attendees will get various ideas. So these papers will be further published in the journal and this will take really a good shape in coming days. So I wish you all the best for this conference. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I request Honorable Professor R.G. Kaduskar, Director PVG COET and GKPIM Pune and Chief Patron ICGEWE 2023 to share his views.
Madam, I am audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yeah. Very good morning to all. First of all, let me wish all the participants and everyone present a happy Women's Day. I, Professor R.J. Kaduskar, Director of the College, with an immense pleasure, extend my warm welcome to you all for 2 days International Conference on Gender Equality and Women Empowerment 2023, starting on the occasion of Women's Day today. We are all aware that on 8 March every year, people around the world celebrates International Women's Day to honor the women's achievement in variety of fields. The goal of celebration of International Women's Day is to spread the message among the people and the society regarding women's rights, gender equality and safety. It is a day to appreciate women for their courage, determination, breaking of rigid stereotypes, and coming out stronger and powerful women. It is also important to recall on this day the success of women in educational, cultural, political, social, and economical field. A woman is a personification of kindness, poise, strength, and grace. Although her existence should be celebrated every day, but we have the Women's Day dedicated to honor the divinity of a woman. From 1996, United Nations started announcing the annual theme on the occasion of International Women's Day. This year the theme is Digital, that is innovation and technology for gender equality. This theme highlights the innovation and technology change and education in the digital age for achieving gender equality and empowerment to all girls and women. This year, the theme will explore the impact of digital gender gap on widening the economic and social inequalities. For example, the digital gender gap is nothing but isolating women, particularly from rural areas, specifically as they are all less aware of digital platforms as well as very less access to various digital forums. Another area to be addressed on this day is that women continue to face serious threats due to climate change, particularly in the occupation that are dependent on natural environment and other climatic stress areas where it causes the natural disaster. And the areas include such as agriculture, water, forestry and fisheries. These are the sectors where there is an impact of climate change, and women, those who are been engaged in those sectors, will suffer a lot. For such issues, we need to break historic, cultural and social economical barriers, that to be with a strong support of innovation and technology. Women's Day is celebrated by way of organizing different events in various parts of countries. Today, on the occasion of Women's Day, Department of Electronics and Telecommunication Engineering has organized international conference on gender equality and women empowerment day. This main aim of this conference is to connect, inspire and empower women and girls and create awareness among all these regarding the importance of innovation and technology for achieving multidimensionality womanhood. It is an appreciable thought that is going to be executed through this conference, which is starting from very much today, that is on the occasion of Women's Day. On behalf of Pune Vidyarthi Graha and PVG COET GK Patewani Institute of Management, I extend my heartiest congratulations to the entire team of ENTC department for their great initiative and organizing such thoughtful conference for women. I am sure that eminent speakers in their deliberations will explore more information and encouraging views on various topics and issues related to gender equality and women empowerment for next 2 days. On behalf of Pune Vidyarthi Graha and College, I extend my sincere thanks to all those eminent speakers for accepting our invitation, and they will be sparing their valuable time and will be sharing their precious thoughts with us. I would like to express my gratitude to Honorable Professor Dr. Sanjeev Sonavane, Pro Vice Chancellor of Savitribai Phule University, for his great support and immediately allowing collaboration of SPPU with this conference, and we are jointly organizing this conference through their Education and Extension Department. My sincere thanks to office bearers of Rajasthan Sociological Associations for their great support. Yes, I should not forget to extend my sincere thanks to all participants for their overwhelming response. My best wishes to this conference, and I am confident that organizing team of this conference will conduct all the sessions for next 2 days smoothly and successfully. With a quote in Sanskrit, Yatra Naryasya Pujyante Tatre Ramante Devata. I once again with a great respect, wishing you all a happy Women's Day. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I request Honorable Shri S.P. Redekar, Chairman Pune Vidyarthi Griha and Director PVG COET and GKPIM Pune and Chief Patron ICGEWE 2023 to present his thoughts.
Good morning, all. Honorable Directory, keynote speakers, participants, faculty members, and dear students. Pune Vidyarthi Graha is 113 years old umbrella, having very wide radius of many institutions spread all over Maharashtra. In the span of 33 years, PVG's College of Engineering and Technology and GK Pate Vani Institute of Management has turned into an ideal ecosystem for the growth of industry in India and abroad. This has developed faculty resources and created an environment which is conducive for nurturing engineering talent. It gives me immense pleasure that PVG's College of Engineering and Technology and GK Pate Vani Institute of Management, Pune, is organizing international conference on the theme of gender equality and women empowerment. I appreciate the efforts of the organizing team of this conference for addressing a much required social issues across the world. Considering the various barriers, it is difficult to attend the conference physically. Hence, the conference is organized in an virtual mode. The international conference will not only give opportunity for the scholars to participate and present their work, but also give platform for number of enthusiastic learners to gain knowledge. Hope that this international conference will broaden the social connect with international researchers and intellectual.
Sir, are you there?
Hello.
Am I audible?
Yeah, madam. I
I think
think
Redekar sir
he
is
might be
disconnected.
exited because of some range issue.
Okay.
So if he joined within 1 minute, well and good. Otherwise, please continue the remaining proceeding.
Okay, sir. Okay. Sir, we'll wait for 1 minute.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Hello, yes, sir. You are audible.
Audible, na?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes. I believe that gender equality and women empowerment inculcated properly in every sector of life, it would have a great impact on the society for its overall development. I wish all the best to this international conference on gender equality and women empowerment 2023. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I request respected Dr. YB Thakre, Head ENTC and Convener ICGEWE 2023 to introduce today's guest of honor, Honorable Dr. Sanjeev Sonawne, Pro Vice Chancellor, Savitribai Phule Pune University and Chief Patron of ICGEWE 2023.
Thank you, madam. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay. It is a great honor for me to introduce our guest of honor and Chief Patron of ICGEWE 2023, Dr. Sanjeev Sonawne, sir. Dr. Sanjeev Sonawne is an Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor of Savitribai Phule Pune University, one of the prestigious University of India. He is also a professor and head Department of Education and Extension since 2005. Director, UGC Academic Staff College, SPPU. Director, Faculty Development Center, SPPU since June 2018. In charge Director, School of Open Learning, SPPU since 2016. In charge Advanced Technology Learning Center, SPPU. Member Academic Council, SPPU. Member COET, Assam Central University, Silchar. He was a Dean Faculty of Education, SPPU Pune from September 2001 to August 2005 and April 2011 to 2016. He was a member Management Council from March 2003 to August 2005 and May 2011 to August 2016. He was in charge Director of Physical Education and Sports, SPPU, during November 2001 to August 2006. Registrar officiating SPPU from October 2007 to January 2008.
I think it's okay. It's okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay, I will conclude within a few minutes, sir. Sonawne sir is having great interest in field of teacher education. Sonawne sir received many recognition and awards like Award of Eminence by Indian Association of Teacher Education, Mindtree Helen Keller Award, Best Teacher Award from Pune Municipal Corporation, Maharashtra Award. He received two scholarship, Linnaeus Palm Teacher Exchange Scholarship. He has total 29 research publications in international and national journals and 17 publications in international and national conferences. He authored and co-authored 15 books on his name. He developed education excellence model for schools and business schools. Sonawne sir contributed in 5 international research projects and 10 at national level. He supervised 27 successful PhD scholars. Dr. Sonawne sir has shown professional involvement in many international conferences and international teacher exchange workshop. He is a panel member of Team NAC since 2004 and NCTA New Delhi. He organized many events related to teacher education and also worked as editor for many publications. Dr. Sonawne sir delivered many keynote speeches and invited talks. He is actively involved in SPPU Pune, such as ex-member of Academic Council and Senate. He is associated with 7 professional bodies working in education and sports as a member. His area of interest are higher education, research and administration, open and distance learning, quality in education, teacher education and inclusive education, information and communication. We are proud to have such an eminent personality, Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor, as guest of honor to this conference. I would like to welcome Honorable Professor Pro Vice Chancellor Dr. Sanjeev Sonawne sir. Now I request Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor Dr. Sanjeev Sonawne sir to address the conference.
Thank you. Namaskar. Vande Mataram. Honorable Chakradev Madam, Vice Chancellor of SNDT University, Redekar Sir, Kaduskar Sir, Tarambale Sir, Thakre Sir, and all our partners in this conference, International Conference on Gender Equality and Women Empowerment. Initially, the Mahila Dinaच्या आपल्या सर्वांना शुभेच्छा. Friends, this is very timely and contextually very vital issues and theme has been taken by this conference. I'm very happy regarding that. Which brains are working for this and which hands are working for this. I appreciate the efforts taken by them all. Our two important objectives, and the first is the awareness regarding the gender equality. Friends, I conducted one study at my department of one of my MPhil students, Jayasri Palwe. She is from Pathardi district, and we conducted a study on gender equality of school-going girls, and it was family-based. She selected 100 families and studied about the gender equality and treatment to the girls in a family and in a school. And I found, and I'm sharing with you, it is shocking outcomes of it. I also find very surprising that result. But result was that the girls, all girls from the 100 families, in a one voice, they express opinion that they are not discriminated in school. They are discriminated at home. And you will find that this is the one of the things where we have to aware it. It's a family discrimination with the girls and with the women, and it starts from there. And why I'm sharing this, what type of awareness we have to do regarding this. The mother is learned, then it happens. We know that in the families, in a newspaper every day, we had a news from about the exploitation of the newly married women regarding this is the social aspect. I'm not repeating it everything. Who exploit women? Who creates an environment in a family, society, and working places that for that purpose we have to organize this conference for gender equality, as we are all are learned. Even though we have to talk about this, we have to talk about the awareness, and we have to find it, because one observation I had made, my 30 years of experience, I started my career as a school teacher in a rural village to the University of Vice Chancellor, and all working places, in a classroom, in a families, everywhere I observed that who can say or who can prohibit or who can contribute to establish a gender equality at all these places, and there the woman's role is very important. But how the mother-in-law is, how the women bosses are working, whether they are contributing in this life. My university experience is that we try to have the HODs of a woman there, but the attitude is very important. In this line, the research says that attitude can be changed with the right intervention, and I hope that this conference will discuss, deliberate in. Thanks to the technology, because technology never discriminate poor, rich, women, or any gender sections of the society and all these things. I think we have to find out the solution with the technologies and with the digital revolutions, what we can say. And for that purpose, I hope that this conference is playing a very important role. And at the end of the conference, we will come out some specific how the society is, why the society is discriminating, what will be the solution to change the attitude of it, and what will be the sustainable impact on it, so that the next conference will be empowering women, because without empowering women, never any family, never any nation, never any state, never any institute cannot be grow. And we will talk only about the growing, we will talk about only the development, but without women it is not possible. I was a faculty in Sweden in John Coping University. When I land there in Sweden country in 2003, at that time I observed that at the airport there are women, at the restaurant there are women, at the mall there are women, at the university, every walk of life, there are women, and that's why they are developed. I asked the professor, I discussed with them, and I realized that without empowerment of women, it is not possible, but it should be with the right attitude, that equality, not only with the gents, not only with the female, not only with the trigender, as the sir had rightly said, that every sections of the society, and then we will be succeeded little while ahead of it, and then we will be human. We will be human unless we will be men and women. Thank you. I wish best this conference will really, with the technology, come out with the excellent solutions, gap of the knowledge, create some I can say the practice solution. Unless we will talk only about the gender equality, but practices will be different. I hope that everybody listening here, participating here, will practice gender equality. Jai Hind. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your motivational words. And thank you for throwing the focus on the current scenario of gender equality and women empowerment through your research. Thank you once again. Now, I request respected Dr. KJ Kulkarni, NEP Coordinator, PBG COET and GKPIM, to introduce today's chief guest, Honorable Dr. Ujjwala Chakradev, Honorable Vice Chancellor, SNDT Women's University, Mumbai. Over to you, madam.
Thank you. Namaskar, honorable dignitaries, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. 8th March is celebrated as International Women's Day. We at PBG take this opportunity to host the International Conference on Gender Equality and Women Empowerment, and thereby recognize the contributions of women and cherish their empowerment in various fields. I feel honored to introduce the chief guest of today's inaugural function, Honorable Vice Chancellor of the SNDT Women's University, Madam Dr. Ujjwala Chakradev. SNDT Women's University, which has a rich legacy of 116 years, is being commanded by Honorable Madam's visionary leadership. Honorable Vice Chancellor is a distinguished alumni of the prestigious Vishveshwaraya National Institute of Technology, VNIT, Nagpur. After completing the BArch and MArch in urban planning in second merit at university level, Madam has contributed towards the architectural education of India through her PhD thesis, Impact of Social Change on Architecture Education of India. Her dedication and drive in teaching field led her to become the principal of Women's Education Society's Smith Manorama Bai Mundle College of Architecture, Nagpur. During the time under her leadership, the institute was recognized as one of the best schools of architecture of Nagpur region and appreciated by Honorable Minister Shri Nitin G. Gadkari. Alongside teaching, Madam is also a practicing architect. Some of her projects include interior design of various departments of irrigation and PWD of Maharashtra and design of Shahid Smarak at Zero Mile Nagpur, which was recognized with first prize at national level architectural design. Madam's contributions to the field of research includes number of publications in high repute journals, copyrights, research projects, books, and book chapters. She has backed the copyrights for taxonomy of architectural design and transmission of architectural knowledge in education tech framework. Some of her research projects include design and research of super specialty government dental college, Nagpur, Master Plan for Comprehensive Tourism Development for UP Tourism Department. She has also driven the fostering social responsibility under Unnat Bharat Abhiyan 2.0 for UGC. She has composed many books, among which is the Marathi book on scale and T-scale, eco-friendly architecture of Harsil Valley, and Anubhuti, Horizons of Experiential Learning, Architecture of Bhutan. She has also authored the book chapters, namely Life Cycle Assessment Methods and Procedures and their role in measuring sustainability component of construction technology आणि शोध श्रीलंकेचे वास्तू सौंदर्य. Honorable Vice Chancellor has held key positions in many national and international level committees and statutory bodies. Friends, the list is unending. The Honorable Madam is very keen and passionate about the various aspects of National Education Policy 2020 and its impact on future of India. She has published various articles and blogs on NEP, and she is guiding teachers and academic leaders to understand the philosophy of NEP. When I recently connected with Madam, I realized that she is a teacher by heart, and even though surrounded with administrative responsibilities, she yearns for students' connect. Today, we are indeed very fortunate to have with us a distinguished personality, a woman who is not only an administrator, not only an academician, not only a researcher, but a veteran teacher and leader.
Madam, you are not audible. Mic is mute. KJK madam.
Yes, ma'am.
So I now invite Honorable Vice Chancellor Madam Dr. Ujjwala Chakradev and request her to address the conference. Please, Madam, over to Mumbai.
Thank you so much for such an elaborate introduction of mine. It's an immense pleasure with which I stand in front of you, not in front of you, in front of the screen which connects us all. That's the beauty of the virtual world and the virtual connect, which has been now possible because of technology. Technology which does not discriminate has been what been said, and it's a fact. And this year's tagline also is about gender discrimination, but understanding the digital mode and understanding the technology. So that's the beauty, and I really appreciate at this appropriate juncture on 8th of March 2023, Pune Vidyarthi Griha's COET and GKPIM have tried to organize such an important function and such an important awareness program. For 2 days, you will be deliberating on this. All the dignitaries who have joined here, including Sonawne sir, who spoke just before me, and all others who are here. Actually, there is a beauty of joining, but there is something which I would say I am not able to meet all your dignitaries of these two organizations from physically. And unless we meet physically, the connect and the remembering the a person and understanding the person and taking knowledge from him or her doesn't happen. So that's a basic drawback. However, I would not have been able to travel to Pune and be there with you all had it been physical. So this is a pleasure. So at the outset, I would thank you for this inviting me. And we talk about women empowerment on this International Women's Day. Today morning at 8 o'clock or 7:30 to be precise, there was a rally in my university. And my students of the university moved on the marine lines and they declared or naare lagaye unhone about that let us not have 8th of March only on one day. So the respect and the equality or the kind of demands which we are putting up on 8th of March should be all 365 days around. And that's the thing. In Bharat, in India, this was never the situation. We never wanted to have this. There was no need to demand this, and nor was a requirement of having a special Women's Day quite a few years ago. Though I understand we don't want to live in the ages of Gargi and Maitreyi, where the knowledge was shared and learned by, was offered to everybody, all women, including women, and we have incidences of that. Yet there were the days and the years have gone by and lots of things have happened, and now we know that is the situation that there is a discrimination in a sense that a kind of respect which a woman demands is slightly missing somewhere. I'll share one of the incidents which happened just 2-3 days ago with me, with us. It was a group of all elites, and we were there and performing various tasks of learning the leadership. It was a course which was attended by me also, and the one of the tasks in that course was climbing, rappelling, and coming down from a 40 feet high wall. And we were in safe hands. Nobody would dare to make us fall from 40 feet. So the organizers were very careful, and they put all safety measures around us, and then we gradually had to just get down. In the process, yet at this age, all of us were very scared. Obviously, even I was scared. I never realized that I will be able to climb down, because I'm aware that at the top, at 40 feet, I would be scared to jump from wherever I was. So I said I will come, because I thought it's necessary for me to get rid of that fear. And we did it. All of us did. Then there was a debriefing session. In the debriefing session, the organizers of that camp were asking us, what did you feel, and so on and so forth. The person, very senior person next to me, said that I was also scared. Yet, what I did was, when I saw women doing it, I thought I must do it. We object to this. What do you mean? When women were able to do it, let me do it. It means the abilities of the women were undermined. The physical ability and the strength was not required at that time to get down. It was only the mental strength that was required, because each one of us knew that we are safe there physically. It was only the mental fear of getting down of the height. So this unknowingly happens amongst us. In case even if we want to respect someone, even if we want to say something, we take the tone of protecting the person. So protecting, undermining, underestimating things because of the gender is what the situation of India at the urban level is. Even the women in Mumbai, women in Pune, Nagpur, and even in the northern India or southern India, literate women, women at the higher positions, if they are facing such a issue, we can imagine what must be having in the households, at homes, and the places. It's not the question of the equality that is demanded. Now what I would say, it's enough of saying, demanding a respect from the other gender. It's a time that we ensure and make every individual woman an aware woman, telling that you are capable, you can do it, you must be having conviction. You don't have to demand your strength, you don't have to demand your empowerment from the other section. You have to rather give it. Sapta Shakti hai aapke paas. It's been told to us and we are aware of that. We are good at so many things. Biologically, woman and a man have been given a different set of strengths and different set of possibilities to carry out the jobs. So these different sets have to be recognized, each one of us. And why should we be talking about the equality? Why do we want the equal strengths and equal capabilities as that of the men? We are women and we need to be powerful about that. One of the examples which I would give is when a person at a higher stature, a man retires, he sits at home and then he says, now I want to start cooking, learn cooking. Or maybe he says, how to spend the time I'm not aware. But you would not find a single woman being bored at home. So she's always into a job, doing lots of jobs. At home, she is equally comfortable. At her workplace, she is equally comfortable. The list of areas or the qualities which the woman has will have to be identified apart from being individual. So every individual has got his or her strengths, but there are very peculiar strengths of that of the woman. Those need to be understood and respected. When she takes care of her home, when she takes charge of the home, the building or a house becomes home. And that home, when she takes care, she is ready to do whatever she wants to and whatever she can do for her family members once she starts loving them. If other party or other gender or her members of the home start feeling and believing that this is she is meant for and this is her weakness, then that's where we need to intervene. Dr. Sonamni talked about the violence at home. And why does this violence and discrimination comes at home? It comes because of not just because of the disrespect. It comes because the family members are not aware that she is doing it not just because she cannot do anything else, but this is a sheer love and the compassion she has for her family. And there are very few examples of the other gender giving the sacrifice of their education and the post for the sake of the family. We have seen so many qualified women sitting at home and taking care of their children and taking care of the family. It's not because others tell them, it comes from within, it comes from inside. And she says, this is my first duty. At this juncture of time, my family needs me, my children need me, and I will take the charge of the family and won't go for the service or sacrifice my career. We also talk about surveys, we talk about research. This is the platform of the academicians, where I'm aware I'm talking to academicians, and we talk a lot about the researches which have happened. There are hardly any researches which have happened in India, particularly about the status of women. But one which I would like to mention very strongly over here is done by women and our organizations, just purely to understand what women of India or women of Bharat are like. Most of other surveys, which I would say, were there to propagate a particular kind of a product and done by outsiders, those who were not Indian. But Indian women are very peculiar, very particular, very different. I would say they have very different kind of an attribute towards them. And this survey, I'm so proud to mention here, was done by Drishti organization, which is based in Pune. Survey of 70,000 women. Look at the sample size. 70,000 women across India were taken up, from north to south and from east to west. And these 70,000 women, the cadre and the strata and the sections through which these samples were collected were also various. Yes, the details about the education, details about her survey, details about her health, details about her economic status, and many other things were of course carried out, but there were particularly 5 verticals around which this survey worked. And the huge data was collected, and this huge data was then analyzed and compiled together for the first time. The real picture of women of Bharat, women of India came forward, and it was so surprising. Yes, the facts and the data and the statistics do talk about the discrimination, do talk about that women are being paid less for the same job, do talk about that there is a discrimination at the place of job. They do talks about the her health status and many other things. But there was a last vertical where the happiness quotient of the Indian woman was also taken up. In spite of all these discriminations, in spite of all these problems, it was a surprising fact that Indian women are much more happier. Happiness quotient is very high. Very surprising and startling outcome. What makes her happy? What makes her satisfied? I think the roots and the main cause is her connect, with her culture, her connect and love which she has within her heart for the entire world. When we talk about Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam as a part of our culture, ultimate part where we would like to reach, its origin is at the family level. In the family, all the members are bound together only and only because of the mother or a woman. I don't know whether women should take it as a pride, or women should take it as a sacrifice, or men should say that you have to do it and this is what you are. So they are happy and we keep on doing work that has to come to an end. There is a possibility that her abilities to do so many works is her quality, which probably can be attained, can be gained, can be learned by men as well. For example, cooking, a domain which has been assigned to Indian women. It has been taken up by an Indian woman, and we feel it's only she who can cook. The younger generation, I would say, are much different now, and equality in the sharing of the responsibilities of the kitchen now have come up. But we have seen the other extremes also, where the kitchen does not exist in the urban families, urban young families. But from this extreme to that extreme, I would say the cooking is an art. Cooking, Pakakala, is an art which has been easily acquired by a woman over the years. Why can't men learn about it? Why can't men be passionate about it? Why have we distinguished certain areas, certain discriminations, and restricted that this is your work and this is my work? If we try to understand that work and try to respect the work, then probably the task becomes more important than the task assigned to a person, gender. There we need to work. Even I am an architect, and you know, at the construction sites, we need to have we have rejas who are paid much lesser than the mistris who are male, and these rejas have to carry bricks or cement or whatever in gamela at their head. The sizes of the gamelas are meant for men, not for women. Similarly, many other apparatuses, many other instruments which are publicly designed so far, which was the area or a domain of men, now needs to be rectified and made easier for women as well. For example, a small mic that is, when we put it, men have got their pocket where they can easily put the mic there, whereas women in sari will find it difficult where to put the mic, mobile mic, and so on and so forth. So these are very minor examples. Research can go on and we can find out how are we going to make the ambience, the atmosphere, the infrastructure suitable for women to perform best. Because in higher education now we see lots of girls taking admissions because of the ambience and the environment which has been ecosystem which has been made possible by the government as well. They have come forward to do it, and now girls have now been encouraged to take admissions to the higher education. With this higher education, these girls take the admission, yet they cannot reach the topmost positions. They are at the top ranking level. As once they pass out from the institutions and come to the real world and take the jobs, positions of the highermost apex levels are not where the statistics talks about. Very few higher women can reach to that top level. There are many such examples which we can also keep on talking about. The fact is that we actually don't want the equality. We want each and every individual to understand the capability of the next person and respect the person as an individual rather than sympathizing or being rude. So either two of the things are not really what we require for from the society. So it's not actually empowering women by the society, but empowering women from within. That is what is required, and education system will have to bring about a dramatic change in its content to make every woman aware that she is enriched, she is empowered, and she has those qualities within her. At SNDT Women's University, the motto of university itself is Sanskrita Stri Parashakti. Now, Sanskrita Stri Parashakti's meaning is one enlightened woman. A woman is the source of infinite strength, and with this strength, she can do miracles in the society. Indian society needs those miracles to be at the position of Jagat Guru. So we need to understand that women have to be cared for, women have to be respected, and furthermore, what society does is actually immaterial. We don't whether they care or respect, but we from within need to know through education that my ability about doing certain things, my finesse about any point work is actually my ability, and I need to make myself entitled for that respect. I don't want anybody to respect me or anybody to disrespect me just because I am a woman. I want their looks at me as an individual, as a person, as a human being, and with this understanding. Because what happens is even girls fall prey to this sympathy if offered and the disrespect that is offered. So we don't want either. No disrespect, no sympathy. And we want our own rights, our own self, understanding ourselves. With education, this can happen. 106 years ago, Maharshi Dhundokeshwar Karve, he started SNDT, established this university only and only with this understanding that if a woman is educated and made aware and made self-reliant, she will be able to take the charge of the society. And women and men are the two wheels of the entire chariot of the society. So you can't have one a wheel smaller, lesser, and not working than the other one. So, if we want a smooth journey, both should be equal. And once again, I'm thankful to all of you, all the organizers that I have been invited to share my views. Thanks once again. Namaskar.
Uh, Thank you, ma'am,
Thank you, ma'am,
for
for
igniting our
igniting our
minds with
minds
your
with your
inspirational words. Um, you have covered a wide spectrum on various aspects of women empowerment and gender equality. Just to sum up, empowering women is from the within. That is very important. No disrespect and no sympathy for the women. But on the same time, men and women are the two wheels of this journey. Both should be balanced. We are very fortunate to listen to your thoughts today on this occasion of International Women's Day. Thank you very much, ma'am, once again for sparing your valuable time and giving the keynote address for the conference ICGEW 2023. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Can I leave now? There's another meeting.
Uh, okay, ma'am.
Thank you so much again, once again.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Uh, Now, I request respected Dr. Geeta Shinde, Associate Professor at Department of Education and Extension, Savitribai Phule Pune University, and co-convener of the conference ICGEW 2023, to present the vote of the thanks for the inaugural ceremony.
Thank you, Priya. Very warm good morning to all dignitaries. It's my great pleasure to be express my sincere gratitude to all of you who are jointly virtually in this conference, Gender Equality and Women Empowerment on the occasion of a World Women's Day. It was a truly an honor to have such an eminent personality and guest and expert from the various fields under the one roof, exchanging the idea and knowledge. I wish to extend my heartfelt thanks to our keynote speaker from SNDT Women's University, one dashing personality, Honorable Dr. Ujwala Chakradev, Madam. Madam, your presence, thoughtful insight would make this conference a grand success. Madam rightly talked about uh, one thing which is most important according to me, sapta shakti aapke paas hai, then why don't you demand from others? So this is very key words for this conference. And one more thing, you rightly explained that the empowering woman within herself. So this is one beautiful words and the suggestions and the motivations given by you, ma'am. Thank you so much. It's a proud feeling moment to express my sincere gratitude Honorable Vice Chancellor Savitribai Phule Pune University Professor Sanjeev Sonone as well. He is a head of a Department of Education and Extension. Sir, who always presenting latest research and current issues, and your thought-provoking enlightenments will be provide a valuable insight and knowledge in the field of a gender equality and women empowerment. I would like to express my sincere thanks to Honorable Chairperson and the Director, Shri S.P. Redekar, Professor Kaduskar sir, Honorable Ms. Thakre sir, and Dr. Y.B. Thakre sir, and Vidya Rajendra Khan sir. I would like partners, Department of Electronics and Telecommunication, Department of Education and Extension, Savitribai Phule University, and Rajasthan Sociological Association. Thank you once again, these all partners. It is inspiring to see the people from all over the world come together and explore a new avenues and share their experiences over this conference. So thank you once again, those all who are virtually connected this conference. I, Dr. Geeta Shinde, as a convener of this international conference, thanks once again to all of you and you having all of you once again with next and the next future event. So thank you once again with the quoting and thanking to Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, Mahatma Savitribai Phule and Mahatma Phule and Maharshi Karve. Thank you once again. And over to Priya.
Thank you, ma'am. Now here I conclude the inaugural session, but still we have to listen to the eminent keynote speakers. Moving ahead to the next part of the session, now it's time to listen to the thoughts of eminent keynote speakers for the conference. Let us all welcome and invite Honorable Dr. Alka Chopra to enlighten us with her thoughts. To share a brief about her, Dr. Alka Chopra is president at Soul Body Healing Center, which works to recreate the holistic living. Dr. Alka, a businesswoman for over a decade now, successfully manages her business along with the social activities. Dr. Alka thought of establishing a base where the rest of the women could together and form a network. She strongly believes that collective consciousness is very effective and can bring out a change as compared to an individual's thought. Establishing an organization for the social welfare of women is a dream nurtured by Dr. Alka. With this thought in mind, she founded the Global Women Power, a non-profit organization based in Fremont, California, providing entrepreneur opportunities to women around the globe. The organization is committed in the creation of awareness and all the necessary assistance towards the betterment of women in terms of financial independence, skill enhancement, and recognition and gender equality. Global Women Power is actively involved in educating, empowering, and enhancing the women folk. It runs many projects for needy women, children, and senior citizens, such as Share Your Cake, Warm the Winters, Celebrating Life, Business Launching, Pencil Project, and Empower Lives. She has conducted various successful events and workshops to make the local women realize their true potential and importance of basic education, women rights and laws, personality development classes, self-employment basic skills to earn a dignified living, meditation events for positive mindfulness and trauma release, yogic session for complete mind and body connection, entrepreneur skill sessions, lectures by successful women to inspire them in various countries like Kenya, Bangladesh, India, Fremont, California, Singapore, and all other parts of the world. Recently, they have adopted a school from Punjab, India, and are dedicated to providing the best of amenities to them. She is also a Chief Operating Officer at MTEL Solution Incorporation, Fremont. She was the President at Bay Area Immigration Services, San Francisco. It's a great pleasure to welcome such a noble personality at our keynote speaker. Now, I request Honorable Dr. Alka Chopra, Madam, to take the virtual stage of the day. Over to you, Alka, Madam.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
And visible too?
Yes.
Okay. So it is a great pleasure to be part of this prestigious organization and the conference. It came as a surprise to me when Mr. Yogesh approached me and then asked me to be a keynote speaker. What I will say is that I did not do any work keeping in mind that one day I will be a keynote speaker in some conference, because the subject is my passion, and I'm very honored that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. So I came to United States about 22 years ago. And before that, I was in India, and my humble beginning, I saw the gender inequality between at home, as other people mentioned, when my grandmother will give butter to us, and she will give more butter to my brother and less to me. Even that action was a little intolerable to me. I'll fight with her, and she'll say, "No, he's a boy. He needs more energy, and you are a girl." And that comment I could never accept. And when I was growing up, and became a rebel and thought of becoming more like a boy or like a man, and rebelled about almost everything in the current scenario where I was living in. When I grew up, then I realized that in order to exercise your strength or power, you don't have to act like a man. As a woman itself, you can make your mark. And so remained in India for about 35 years of my life. And then I came to United States of America with my husband. And mine is a miracle story. Why I want to say that, because I believe that if I can do it, anybody can do it. That's why I share in that perspective. So when we came here, I live in Silicon Valley. Silicon Valley is top-notch part of United States of America because all the Google, Yahoo, Apple, everything is here. It is Silicon Valley. So I came here with $20 in my pocket, and then I started my living looking at various professions. So one of the profession which I picked up was, starting helping immigrants do their documentation so that they can get settled here. In that regard only, I started meeting women from all parts of the world. That's why I named my organization as Global Women Power, because women, wherever she is, the story is the same. So I decided that let's do something about women from all walks and all parts of the world. And my main strength at that time was my husband, though. And then he used to say that don't think that all the women, whatever they are shown as on the TV or on the news, they are now on their own. They still need support and empowerment. So America is one good example of that. See, till now, America doesn't have any women president. And last time when Hillary Clinton was very close to winning the election, and it was a big talk of the town that they did not want a woman as the president. So this inequality, gender inequality, is everywhere. You can see here in the job front, in big organizations, at home. And so this is a challenge, and I will not discount that gender inequality still exists. So as a result, we started this organization in 2013 called Global Women Power. And then my first subject on whom I worked was the cleaning woman who used to come to our home, and she was cleaning 4 or 5 houses. I asked her, how about if I help you make your Facebook page and then, promote you on different platforms and then see if work increases. She was a Spanish woman and not well versed with English. I taught her English also, that learn English because that is the common language. And in no time, I saw she got, 10, 15, 20 houses to clean. And then she brought another women with her, those who couldn't speak that language. And we taught them how to use translator and start working. So her name was Laura, and she was the first subject of my journey for empowering women. Today, Laura is working in a doctor's office as an interpreter, and her business works by itself. And she has about 20 to 30 women working for her business. Then it was a pleasant surprise. And then I thought, okay, let's elaborate it further and started building up on my organization. And I want to say that, when you do good work, you get spotted by yourself. One day I got an invitation from government of the city I live in. They wanted me to be on their board, and that was the beginning of this successful journey. I went there, and then everybody started asking me, what do you do? How do you do? And what is the name of your organization? And one thing took after another. Some industrial organizations started helping me. Google adopted us, and then other women started joining. So what I want to say is that in my observation, people kept asking me, what do you mean by global women power? What is your motto here? I said, this is not about the feminism. This is not about showing that how strong women is. There is no doubt about it. That is not the question, whether woman is powerful or not. The thing is that we have to make a network of women, because I saw the worst enemy a woman has another woman, because a woman is not helping another woman. And there is some kind of competitive spirit between two women, whether they are sisters, sisters-in-law, mother-in-law, mother, everywhere. So I came up with that idea, like, let's put our hands together, our minds together, and think for each other. Pick up each other's phone call, help them find jobs, help them find place to stay, help them find suitable match, whatever, like work together. So I started with having fun activities together so that they all can come, ladies' night, and then, some other social events, some Indian events, some international events. So that's how I collected women around me. We have a huge group here in Bay Area, which has women from all walks of life and all countries. So many consulates, they recognize Global Women Power. When a new woman arrives in this country, they recommend them to go to Global Women Power, because that way they will find friends and network, and then they can help each other. So this had been a very, very interesting journey, and I do not know at what point of time I just turned out to be the founder of the organization, and now there are presidents and other positions which are held by different women, and then they are working on their own. And I just sometimes look at that creation of mine and I smile, like, how many people joined by now? And so India had been my love, and I have come to India. I registered non-profitable organization in India as well. We have done tons of projects in India and have made our mark. And some of the projects I will quickly like to share, and then some pictures will also entertain us for so this is all these are real pictures. I haven't copied from anywhere. So this is how we just celebrated different occasions. Some of these women are and the senators or at the consulate levels. And this is my picture. And I have made this slogan, I'm here for you, sister. This is my motto. And then this is our team. Many projects we have done in India for community outreach, share your cake, and then giving back to community, senior citizen training. There are different chapters in different parts of the country, and then food drives, cleanup drives. So these are the things which bring women together. Otherwise, like bringing them in for some things which they are not interested in, they are not liking, then they don't come. Another project which I started is anemia awareness, which is a global outreach, and we are doing in almost 10 countries now, because anemia is not something related to poverty. Anemia is related to malnourishment. And so I took over the task of educating women, because it is a silent killer, and women do not pay attention to this fatigue and tiredness, which they think part of the life, and then this thing grows bigger. So we have done many projects for anemia awareness in India. And another project which we are doing, which is I recently launched this community kitchen, which is the first one in Chandigarh, Punjab. In community kitchen, the project is kitchen by the women for the women, where women, those who are working, they can pay here and can get subsidized food on daily basis, so that they can just continue with the journey they are on, making their livelihood on a daily basis. So these are the activities which we have done, and creating employment. I have launched a global project. It is called DigiWoman. DigiWoman is a woman who is trained on digital technology, and those jobs they can do sitting at home. Virtual world giving more job opportunities than the real world. In that way, this project is also launched in about 10 countries now. And there are many organizations like Cisco, and then certain other not very well-known organizations in global, they do fund us. And with those finances, we just empower as many women as we can. And I realized that once a woman financially stable, her head works okay, and then she can think various thoughts and can support her dreams, her family's dreams. And then, domestic abuse and other things, they take a backseat. That's what my observation and research had been. When women is financially independent, she is at peace and the whole house is at peace. So that is pretty much what I covered in my endeavor as a global women power organization's founder and head. So Priya, thank you very much for having me over. If any question, I am ready to answer.
Thank you, Alka ma'am. To sum up, just I would like to say that we should create the network of women and link together and exchange thoughts for the betterment of this society. So I once again thank you for sparing your valuable time and speaking at our conference. Thank you so
Thank you
much,
for
ma'am.
having me.
Now I take this opportunity to introduce our next keynote speaker, Dr. Neeta Inamdar. Dr. Neeta is a professor and head at Manipal Academy of Higher Education, Mahe, Udupi, India. She has her PhD in Mass Communication Department of Mass Communication and Journalism, Karnataka University. She is heading Manipal Academy of Higher Education, which is a knowledge partner in W20, which represents official women engagement group of G20. She is a project fellow and as a visiting faculty member at Department of Journalism and Mass Communication, Mysore. She is the chief editor of Manipal University Press, Manipal Academy of Higher Education, Manipal. Her major contributions include multidisciplinary academic initiatives with a focus on research in education and policy and internationalization of higher education. She has worked on many projects and received grants from European Union, German Academic Exchange Services, DAAD, and other funding agencies of worth 1.9 million euros, which is approximately rupees 16.7 crores. She has played a key role in establishment of Manipal Center for European Studies, Center for Education Research CER, and actively involved in UNESCO UniTwin project through Mahe's UNESCO chair. She played a key role in building international collaborations and establishing the partnership. She is recipient of many awards and recognitions. To name a few, Dr. Neeta Madam has received Jean Monnet Center of Excellence Award in July 2018 for European Studies, established in 2009. Jean Monnet Chair Award, Exceptional Leader of Excellence, awarded by Women's Economic Forum. She is member of Association of European Studies in India and has contributed in building international collaborations with European universities. To name a few, University of Bremen, Germany, Metropolitan University Prague, Czech Republic, University of Milano, Italy, Lancaster University, United Kingdom, University of Lille, France, and many more. She is editorial review board advisory board member for CMR Journal of Innovation and Research, CMR University, Bangalore. Her publication includes 3 books, book chapters. She has published many papers in national and international journals. She has led many conferences and workshops. She has been invited to deliver the keynote address at various national and international conferences. We are so honored to have Dr. Neeta Inamdar as keynote speaker for the conference. Now, I invite Honorable Dr. Neeta Inamdar to get an opportunity for all of us to listen to her thoughts. Over to you, Neeta Madam.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. There, respected Professor Priya Deshpande, Professor Kalyani Kulkarni, Professor Shilpa Litake, and Professor Thakre, and all the organizers and participants of this international conference on gender equality and women empowerment. So before I begin with what I intend to say today, I wish to congratulate the team organizing this event for responding to the need of the hour and for convening this conference. Probably many of you are aware of the fact that just last week, on 27th and 28th February, Maharashtra hosted the W20 meeting in Aurangabad city, where delegates from G20 countries met and discussed issues pertaining to women empowerment. I must say I had the privilege of being a part of this meeting as a special invitee, as my university representative, because our university is a knowledge partner like SNDT in this W20. For those who do not know, W20 is the official women engagement group of G20, for which India is holding the presidency currently. And so, if there was consensus about one thing during the 2 day deliberations, it was on the need to shift the rhetoric from women's development to women-led development. So please think through what is happening here. You know, this paradigm shift, my friends here, please note, will redefine the entire approach we take to empower women. Because we are not talking about women's development anymore, we are talking about women-led development. So when we talk about women-led development, first and foremost, we see her as an important partner in the process of development. And here we are talking about development which is also sustainable and environment friendly. And this also brings to fore the importance of her involvement in economic activities and as a major contributor to the development narrative. So if we look at the data, we see contribution of women to GDP currently in India is only a dismal 17%. Okay, it also throws light on the potential to increase that. So when we look at it, we also know from 17% we got to touch somewhere 45, 50% at least. And that actually means there is a huge scope for us to work on. Right? So our contributions, so what is happening? We are all working, all women are working, nobody's sitting idle. But then why is it not being considered while the GDP is being calculated? So it's also, in a way, the problem with computing of GDP, which doesn't take into account the care work in which a woman is largely involved. Care work includes taking care of children, taking care of elderly. Earlier, our Honorable Vice Chancellor of FNDT did speak about this in different way. But here in W20 meeting, we were all talking about how this care work needs to be shared and needs to be shared equally. So how many of us survive on or approve life of a world where there is no care work for people around? But we do not. But if only we have this care work being shared, probably we are going to create a new world. So what happens is in this, the entire care work becomes intangible, right? But how do we make it tangible so that it is also computed into GDP? Or particularly most important thing is to have women contribute to the tangible economic contribution. Okay, so if we have to convert this intangible contribution to a tangible one, so that will elevate her to a position within the society, it is important that the care work is shared. And it's not only about sharing of this care work, but we argue that there is a need to create an architecture in the sense an institutional architecture, create new institutions where this care work is taken care of collectively by all of us, and that where she is given more time to pursue her interests, to pursue her passions, and supported by her abilities. And this calls for a social transformation. It doesn't happen only by creating institution through policy intervention. So policy interventions are a necessity, but I think apart from that, we also need intervention at multiple levels. That would also mean social engineering. Basically, we call it in a better way as development engineering, where efforts are made by NGOs, by other stakeholders in the society, by men and women, all of us, in such a way, including the religious leaders who can bring in change in the way we think about care work and the way we are functioning today. Okay, so apart from this kind of a transformational exercise, we need to create pathways for education and skill development. So it is inevitable that we think through and see how education and skill development can help her come out and contribute tangibly and significantly to the global economy. Her participation in the labor market is something very crucial at this point, and that would need skill development. There are lots of programs for skill development right now in the country, but we need to discuss a little more about skill development, about micro credentials, and how they can be considered while employing people. And so it needs a long-term, multi-pronged approach to get women on board in making contributions more tangible. So there are this data that talk about there are 230 million women entrepreneurs and over 100 million agrarian workers. Okay, these are some bright spots. But we also feel despite all that creative urge, what is missing is financial literacy among women. So it is because for ages it has been looked at as man's passion to take care of the finances of the household. And so she becomes more hesitant to enter this field. But financial literacy is important as cash flow management and insurance commodities that she produces as an entrepreneur and claims to make later. They all need some kind of financial literacy. And I think this financial literacy should be given focus in the coming years at all education levels, from school education to college education, even the engineering colleges. Maybe I would recommend there is need for inclusions of financial literacy for both men and women, in fact, but more so for the women who are studying at our universities. So what we need to do all this is intentionality of leadership to support and create an ecosystem for women, which becomes very important. And feminizing workforce needs multi-pronged approach, as I already said. And there is need to bring women into workforce early and not wait until they are in their 30s. I'm sure many women colleagues here would agree. When you get into the age of 30s and 40s, there is this what we call as a double whammy effect, which means at the same time, there is an increasing burden of demands from both the work life and the personal life. Our children enter high school or something, and then at the same time, you're entering more leadership roles, which would need more time on the work front. So this double whammy effect also needs to be contained or needs to be thought through when we are actually working in an environment. And there have also been considerable discussions about using artificial intelligence for the benefit of gender parity. And I think here that becomes very important because I'm amidst engineers today, and I call upon engineering professors here to bring in that dimension in both their research and training. So with that, you can be change makers yourselves. Not only AI, but technology in multiple ways can empower women in realizing the dreams of bringing positive change, not for themselves, but also for all those around us. So it is just about creating that ecosystem, creating policies that are inclusive, decisive, and action-oriented. So what we need is a collective global vision and a collective global discourse on the same. And I hope this international conference you have curated will come out with transformational recommendations for gender parity. Keep smiling and the world will come along. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am, for sharing your valuable thoughts with the gathering. Thank you for sparing your valuable time to address the gathering. Once again, thank you. Now I hand over to Professor Vaidehi Sovani to introduce our next keynote speaker for the conference. Over to you, Sovani madam.
Yes, thank you, Priya. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Thank you. Good afternoon, all. I am pleased to introduce Dr. Aishwarya Patil, co-founder and director, Astral Education Ireland. Dr. Aishwarya Patil has done Masters in English Literature at Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University and topped in all 8 papers and received gold medal. She is holding doctoral degree in sociology with qualitative methods from SSESW at Queen's University, Belfast. To brief about her professional career, Madam worked as assistant professor and academic coordinator at Sinhagar Technical Education Society, Pune, India, and was also worked as officiating principal during span 2000 to 2014. Dr. Aishwarya was founder and managing partner of AIM Associates, Pune, India. During this responsibility, she provided management and strategy development of core operations and growth initiatives to improve enterprise and client revenue and market performance. Leveraged business and service acumen to harness business development activities, cultivate relationships, and ensure client satisfaction with new and existing customers. She conducted a qualitative research comprising of focus groups and semi-structured interviews with the employees of IDBI Bank and Suvarna Cooperative Bank. This 2-year project entailed the management of human resources in the event of corporate mergers and acquisitions. Based on the recommendations of this project, 70% of the staff of the cooperative bank were retained by the IDBI Bank. Conducted focus groups with international students, especially those from Afghanistan, to more fully understand their experiences and challenges while studying in India. She developed EDI strategies and innovative projects in gender diversity and inclusion, including management development programs for key clients, including IBM India, Infosys, Mindtree, Aura Software, Persistence Limited, National Defense Academy Pune, Autodesk Solutions, and Synthetic Software Solutions, the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. These projects achieved success with IBM promoting 30% of women to leadership positions, with Infosys having a 45% of employees return to work, following significant life events, for example, pregnancy. Mindtree had employee engagement figures reaching 70%. Dr. Aishwarya Patil worked as Equality, Diversity and Inclusion Consultant at Apollo Hospital, India, during year 2016-17. During this, she developed an EDI framework and strategy for Apollo hospitals, ensured employee engagement through various initiatives and collaborating with internal and external stakeholders, designed and delivered bespoke EDI training to the employees, conducted EDI focus groups and interviews with the employees in order to help formulate policy recommendations. Dr. Aishwarya Patil is working as teaching assistant at SSESW, Queen's University since year 2018. Here she provided teaching assistance by engaging tutorials in social policy and digital sociology for the undergraduates. In addition to all her career on her records, a number of accomplishments are there. Few to name out of these: phenomenal 500% rise in the international admissions within 1 year through successful EDI strategies. As a member of Athena Swan Committee at Queen's University, Belfast, actively participated in organizing events and contributing to the development of EDI policies and practices through the Swan Self-Assessment Team. Organized postgraduate seminars in SSESW. She worked as a research assistant in JAC trial project undertaken by the School of Nursery and Midwifery in QUB. Collected data from a wide range of secondary school students in Northern Ireland. Influential, thoughtful leader and industry expert sought out for keynote lectures and leadership positions, chaired inaugural Art, Humanities and Social Sciences Doctoral Conference in 2019 and All Ireland Doctoral Conference in 2018. proven track record of last 3 years in successfully managing international events such as workshops, conferences, and community events. She received Best Teacher Award in year 2007 by Maharashtra Girls Education Society. So with this brief introduction, I request respected Dr. Aishwarya Patil to address the audience. Please, madam, over to you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sovni ma'am, for your kind words. And let me thank the organizing committee as well as the principal and director of Pune Vidyarthigruha's College of Engineering and Technology for organizing this spectacular conference on Women's Day. And let me take this opportunity to wish you all a happy International Women's Day. We women actually rock in all walks of life. So let me begin the topic that is very close to my heart, because I was always concerned about women's career progression in my life. Women empowerment, we talk on multiple levels, and the speakers before me have enlightened us about how we can achieve women empowerment in a comprehensive way. But, you know, one of the aspects of women empowerment is to see women in leadership positions. And therefore, in this particular keynote address, for which I thank you all for giving me an opportunity, I am I want to talk about women's career progression, but particularly a factor that significantly impacts the career progression of women, and that is motherhood. So my focus today will be on motherhood and careers. But before I begin my actual focus, I would like to say that we women have made significant inroads into all domains of careers. We have left really significant footprints. Yes? Am I audible?
Yes, madam, you are audible.
Okay. So we have made significant inroads into all domains of career, and we have also made our footprints significantly felt in all sorts of careers. But we hardly see a woman in a top management. There are few women in top management positions. There are fewer still at CEOs, and managing directors are very rare to find. So what goes wrong? And despite talent, despite commitment, despite all that we have, hardworking, multitasking that we women are, why do we not progress in our career? And why can't we acquire these leadership positions? So there are several factors that I have investigated in this particular research paper that I'm presenting today. Is women's careers are, or women's choices about careers are not independent choices. So when I had investigated this topic, what factors influence women's career, particularly I investigated women in technology, that is women engineers who are working in information and technology sector, or women engineers who are working in government sector. You know, why are they not progressing in their career? Why they are not being leaders, and why they are not feeling empowered in their careers? So the theoretical framework that I used, and which is very relevant to this topic, is the 3 dimensions of women's careers are really important. 3 dimensions are culture, structure, and action elements. So culture and structure of family, culture and structure of organization, and these 2 influences the actions that women take in their careers, or influences the choices of women in their career, influences the way the women negotiate their careers. So women's choices are not independent, they are constrained by the culture and structure of family and culture and structure of organization. And let me tell you that women even though they have progressed, they have made inroads into several careers, we still have to go miles before we sleep, and we still need to acquire the leadership positions. So when this is the fact, what happens in organization? So it is a fact, and it is established by research, that women are discriminated against. Women are discriminated against, but the would-be mothers or mothers are more discriminated. And this discrimination is aggravated in a long working hours job like IT sector, for example, wherein you have to work for longer hours. Motherhood poses significant challenges to the working women. Working mothers have to prove themselves to in both competitive devotions, one of an ideal mother and the other as an ideal worker. So these ideal mother and ideal worker pull the women in a tug of war, wherein they are pulled in opposite directions. So this is what emerged in my research as a significant factor. And let me tell you that motherhood is not a culturally given name. It is an ideology in Indian context. स्वामी तिन्ही जगांचा आई विना भिकारी. स्त्री ही एक क्षणाची पत्नी आणि अनंत काळची माता असते. और स्त्रीचा जन्माचं सार्थक हे मातृत्वामध्ये असतं. These sentences which I uttered in Marathi, I can for the larger audience say that the accomplishment of women's life is in becoming mother, and the mother is the first teacher of the child. The mother is the sole caretaker, caregiver, the responsible person for child rearing. So this intensive mothering, or the ideology of motherhood, is centuries old in India, and women also have motherly instinct. There is absolutely no denial about that. Motherly instinct, they feel responsible, they have their child's need better understood by them. They have once the child is born, their world revolves around the child, and there is absolutely no denial about it, and there is absolutely no complaints about it as well. But when it comes to working mothers, it is important for the family members, particularly the men, to share some burden of child care from the women so that they progress. So this intensive mothering, of course, even if our ideology is centuries old, we have not put it into scholarly debate, and therefore the Westerners have taken the credit of putting this ideology into scholarly debate by producing research articles. So Hayes, in her book Cultural Contradictions of Motherhood, talks about this intensive mothering concept, but it is age old in our country. And what when I interviewed the women, what I found, that all of them have deep sense of motherhood, which is a fact. So mine is a qualitative paper in which I interviewed 40 women candidates. They are based on different promotional levels in IT organizations, and 28 out of the 40 were mothers, and all have deep sense of motherhood, and commented that their world revolves around their children. So, but at the same time, women are empowered in a way that 50% of these 28 women have said that even though that is a fact, we also wish that we need man to take up some responsibility. So this is the change that is occurring in a woman. That is what I regard as empowerment. Earlier, women used to feel solely responsible for child care, for child rearing, for the education of the child, for intensive mothering. But now women are at least expressing their wish that they need somebody to contribute in child care. So that is a welcome thing. And then women who are mothers have given, I have also seen in my research that women who have become mothers have given priority to their motherhood than their careers. It is because women already have deep sense of motherhood, and then there is a guilt that operates of leaving the child behind and going for work, or ignoring the needs of the child and accepting new roles and responsibilities. So women are torn between these ideal mother and ideal worker, and then they choose the ideal mother, because if they focus on career, they are regarded as dry and bad parent. They are judged as bad parent if they focus on the career, which is in a way which proves that women are judged on the basis of how good they are as mothers rather than how good they are as workers. So and it is also found that organization culture and structure also takes from family, and women have to pay motherhood penalty. Now, what is this motherhood penalty? Motherhood penalty is paying for becoming mother, paying in a way of pay and promotions. So two of my participants who were pregnant and who worked during all cycle of their pregnancy, who were working women, they were denied appraisals by their manager, saying that you are now less valuable. We are not sure whether you return to work or not. So we won't be granting you appraisal now. Once you return, we will grant you appraisals. So this is a blatant discrimination that happens. So working women are discriminated, but working mothers or would-be mothers are more discriminated, and they have to pay the motherhood penalty. And because they are seen as less valuable, less committed, and therefore they are discriminated against in pay and promotion. And ideal mother and ideal worker are at odds, and women who focus on their career are just as bad parents. Another concept which is very interesting, which is opposite to Western world, shadow mothering. Shadow mothering is helping in mothering work except conceiving the child and delivering the child. So paid nannies are regarded as shadow mothers in Western world, whereas in India, we have the support of either mother or mother-in-law or even father-in-law who become the shadow mothers. So working women get lot of help from these shadow mothers. Predominantly, they are mother-in-laws, and in rare cases, there are fathers-in-law. But it is interesting finding, and I would like to share it with you, that women as shadow mothers and men as shadow mothers have gender differences among them. Women as shadow mothers are more more subjected to the motherhood stereotype than the father-in-laws actually. So mother-in-laws who would look after the children, but then put the condition on their daughters-in-law that you should keep working but not progress in the career, not think about any new roles or responsibilities, because don't forget you are a mother first and then a worker. So that's the condition. But fathers-in-law,
participants, please mute your mic. It's a request to mute your mic, participants.
Okay. Can I continue now? Yeah. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So, yeah. So fathers-in-law, on the contrary, and very surprisingly, have found to be unconditional in their support of their daughter-in-law in supporting their career progression, because they have not put any condition on the working mothers, and they have not judged them as bad parent or something of the sort. In fact, they have motivated and inspired these daughters-in-law to accept new roles and responsibilities. But such men are rare, as out of 28, only 2 women have the support of father-in-law. Other cases, mother-in-law was looking after the children. So shadow mothering is helping women to keep the job, but it comes at a cost. And that cost is women can keep the job but not progress in their careers. So these findings, I have seen, and I have came to a conclusion based on the findings that motherhood is really a significant factor that influences the lives of women, but more the lives of working women. And working women will not acquire leading positions until they get support from the society, from the family members, from the organization, from their bosses, peers, and all, to understand that motherhood is also important for women and they can still work, but you need to create an environment where such things are facilitated and create an environment where women feel empowered, where women feel confident, and women will not have guilt of leaving the child behind and continue working. So, and the policies also need to be directed in that way. Now, Indian government has come up with Maternity Benefit Act 2017, which really reduces the burden, but still more has to be done. Because motherhood is important. At the same time, women's careers are also important. So once again, I thank you all for giving me an opportunity to express my views on the topic. And once again, congratulations to entire team, organizing team, for putting up very spectacular conference. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much, madam. The topic you addressed, that is motherhood and career, I think it was close to heart of each and every woman. As you said, the culture, structure, and action, these are the elements which really plays a very important role for a woman when she is working as a working woman along with the family. And as you rightly said, there is always a war between ideal mother and ideal worker. And I think the woman wants to win as both. She wants to be everywhere. Madam, you touched various areas where woman has to struggle and overcome while doing his career and keeping the motherhood as her important role. Thank you so much, madam. We are really thankful to you for coming here and definitely taking your very precious time for this conference.
It's a pleasure. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Now moving ahead, we'll be having one keynote speaker with us today, Dr. Priyadarshini Karve. So I would like to introduce Dr. Priyadarshini Karve, Managing Director, Samuchit Enviro Tech. Dr. Priyadarshini Karve completed PhD in Physics from University of Pune in 1998. Her first independent research project resulted in the development of a process for converting agricultural waste into charcoal. The technology won the Ashden Award for Renewable Energy in 2002. In a career spanning nearly 25 years, Dr. Karve invented a number of improved biomass burning cooking devices to reduce smoke in the kitchen and dependence on firewood for domestic cooking in rural areas. She has also worked on decentralized organic waste of fuel technologies. She developed a methodology for technology selection and promotion to improve adoption of clean cooking energy devices by end users. In the past 10 years or so, her work has also focused on devising and promoting strategies for low carbon, sustainable urbanization. She has published more than 30 research papers in peer-reviewed journals and has contributed to technical books. In 2005, she started Samuchit Enviro Tech, a social enterprise that promotes environmentally sustainable energy and lifestyle products. Dr. Karve, who is Managing Director of Samuchit, has also invented an easy-to-use Samuchit carbon footprint calculator for urban Indians and conducts workshops on climate-friendly lifestyle, sustainable urbanization, etc. She is also a co-founder of Urja Box LLP, a green startup from 2021. Dr. Karve is actively involved in national and international organizations working in the field of renewable energy, equitable sustainable development, climate resilience, etc. Over the years, she has successfully led numerous funded projects based on scientific and technological research, technology dissemination and commercialization, third-party assessments, and policy advocacy. She is a founder member and a member of the board of directors of Clean Energy Access Network, that is CLEAN, CLEAN, a registered society in India, and serves on the governing and advisory bodies of number of other national and international organizations. She is also a national convener of Indian Network on Ethics and Climate Change, that is INECC. She teaches courses on sustainability, physics and big history, that is history of the universe. She teaches courses on sustainability, physics and big history. Sorry, I got repeated it. In addition, she is co-editor of Shaikshanik Sandarbha, a Marathi language bi-monthly on science and education, and a member of the board of editors for Confluence Journal of Interdisciplinary Studies. Her work has been honored by several national and international awards, including World Technology Award in Environment category 2005 by World Technology Network New York, Sahyadri Hilkarni Award 2011 by Mumbai Doordarshan Television Channel India, Vasundhara Award 2014 by Kirloskar Vasundhara International Environmental Film Festival, Unsa माझा Zhoka Award 2015 in Environmental category by Zee TV Marathi Television Channel India. She is a TEDx speaker and has also been featured in a number of national and international periodicals, publications, radio and television programs and podcasts. So we are having a very dynamic personality today with us. So I request Karve Madam to please move for your session. Thank you, Madam. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And thank you for giving me an opportunity to interact with the participants in this conference. I am primarily, as my tagline shows, a director of a company, and perhaps that is why I was told that I should focus on entrepreneurship for women, which in itself is a vast topic. So I'm going to talk a bit about the specific area that I'm working in and where I feel women need to seek avenues for entrepreneurship, and that is the whole challenge that the entire humanity is facing today, and that is the challenge of climate change. We know that since the industrial revolution, when humans started using coal and petroleum, we started putting excess carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, and that is leading to the global average temperature increasing. Today, we find that the world is 1.2 degrees centigrade warmer than what it was before the industrialization. All of this is also now causing impacts which everybody is seeing around. So there is no denying that climate change is happening. We are seeing changes in the weather patterns. We are seeing increase in natural calamities and so on and so forth. As far as India is concerned, we actually are facing a bigger challenge. We are in a very uniquely difficult situation here. Because on one hand, at this point in time, we are among the top 5 emitters of greenhouse gases. So a lot of discussion and focus nowadays happens around how do we reduce our carbon emissions. There are also government driven activities. Businesses are declaring that they want to go carbon neutral and so on and so forth. So that is one aspect of it. What is less talked about is that we are also among the top 5 countries most vulnerable to climate change. we are among the top countries which are going to face the impacts of climate change. And that is where I am coming in from when I want to talk about women and entrepreneurship. But let me elaborate a bit on what these challenges are that we are facing as a country, primarily because these don't get talked about much. India, if you think about our map, then we have a long coastline. So, as the sea level is increasing because of the melting of glaciers and so on, we are actually losing land. Our coastal communities are facing danger because of that. There is inundation of land, there is erosion of land, and also the warmer seas in the coastal regions are changing the behavior of the coastal ecosystem. And this is putting a lot of pressure on the fishing communities because we know that there are particular areas where a particular species of fish are found, and those have culturally become part of the local cuisine. But now fish populations are migrating, and therefore the fishing community is finding it difficult to harvest the fish for which their market has demand. If we go to the Himalayas, then the Himalayan glaciers are melting away. That is why we see a lot of flash floods there right now. And eventually, after 2050, there will be huge water scarcity there. And that is the region where most of our food production happens. And rivers like Ganga, Brahmaputra, these huge big rivers, which originate in the Himalayan glaciers. Think about these rivers going dry for at least some part during the year. That will have huge implications to water availability and huge implications for agriculture in entire North Indian belt. We are also seeing more drier and hotter summers now, and this is a phenomenon across the country. This is leading to heavy forest fires that has direct impact on forest communities. We are seeing that the rainfall pattern is changing. The overall rainfall is going down, but we are seeing more instances of very heavy rainfall. So a lot of water comes down in a very small time period, and then there are long periods of no rainfall. This has huge implications for agriculture and water availability across the country. So you think about a community, whether it is agrarians, whether it is tribal populations, whether it is fishing communities, everybody is facing these impacts, and cities are facing even more impact now because on one hand these are densely populated areas with very heavy infrastructure. We have been practicing bad urban development policies for a long time, and these policies are now clashing with climate impacts. So for example, we are seeing more rainfall, and we have concretized all the land so that there is no place for the water to go, and that is why artificially created floods are affecting our cities. Last year you may have seen that very high income communities in Bangalore ultimately had to be rescued with the help of tractors, leaving behind their Mercedes and so on cars. So these are the situations that are even urban populations are facing. Now, there is studies across the world as to who is suffering the most as far as climate impacts are concerned. And it is the tropical and subtropical regions. So it is mainly Asian and African countries which are going to bear the maximum brunt of these impacts. Although there will be and there are already impacts happening worldwide, but this is the belt where maximum impacts are happening. And this is also a belt which has developing countries with high social inequity, economic inequity, poverty, and so on and so forth. So that creates a bigger problem among these populations, even among the developing country populations. Those community groups which are dependent on their local ecosystems for their day-to-day livelihoods, those are even more vulnerable. So, for example, the fishing communities will be more vulnerable because of the particular impact that comes not just for their a threat for their lives and houses, but also a threat for their livelihoods. Among these vulnerable communities, children and women are the most vulnerable groups. And this has a lot to do with our socio-cultural makeup. I'm a scientist, and I strongly believe, and it's not just a emotional belief, but supported by science, that there is actually very little difference between men and women, and the entire spectrum of genders for that matter. The difference genetically, there is hardly any difference apart from the ability to reproduce. The differences in behavior, the differences in strengths, these come primarily because of upbringing. So it seems that women are better at care jobs and as nurturers, but that is more a case of them being conditioned like that from childhood. If both boys and girls are raised in the same way that girls are raised today, then we will have a much more responsible society all around us. That's a fact. Unfortunately, that is not the case. And when things really become difficult, humans are essentially very selfish beings. Selfishness has been a characteristic which is responsible for our success as a species, for example. If you have read the books by Harari, he explains this very, very effectively. I mean, just take the example, look at any genus of animal kingdom. Look at our nearest cousins, which are monkeys. There are multiple species among monkeys. But in the Homo genus, we are the only one species, which essentially means that we have wiped out all other species and have inherited the earth for ourselves, the Homo sapiens. So we are an extremely selfish and ruthless species by our genetic makeup that has been responsible for our success. That comes into play whenever there is a disaster. If you look at the data, for example, from the 2001 tsunami, the maximum casualties were children and women because the men just left them behind and ran away. So when we are in a situation where the entire human population is facing a threat, everybody is on their own. You are on your own. There is no protective system. If some protection support comes, that's a bonus. So first and foremost, one has to, as an individual, ensure that you become safe, you become secure, you become fit to face any challenges that climate change will throw at you. So this is an important point that we have to keep in mind, combined with the fact that women are one of the most vulnerable groups to impacts of climate change. So if you keep that in mind, it essentially means that women will have to build their physical strength, their mental strength, and their economic independence. And that is where this whole idea of entrepreneurship comes in. That if you are economically independent, that helps you address a number of challenges that you are going to face as an individual. So that is something to keep in mind. Also, another interesting thing that is happening is that we are seeing, as various community groups, various organizations, government agencies start putting in place solutions to climate crisis. There is a lot of discussion now going on around climate adaptation. How do we deal with the change that has already happened? So this is leading to new business opportunities coming up, new sectors opening up. For example, renewable energy. Renewable energy was not a huge, big sector a few years back, but now it has become an important sector where we have to you know, create new business models and create new ways of incorporating renewable energy in our energy systems so that we can move away from fossil energy and address climate change in a most definitive way. So that is creating new sectors altogether. There is a sector of waste management. A new sector is coming up in the context of climate aligned agriculture, food production systems. How do we imaginatively use limited water resources to do more? New areas, new thought processes are opening up, and new business models are coming in. As we get into this mode of using the planet's resources in a different way, so that on one hand we reduce our contribution to climate change, and on the other hand we start to cope with the challenges that climate change is throwing at us, entirely new type of economics is going to evolve, entirely new type of business culture is going to evolve. So these are areas which have no historical baggage. There is no historical data that men have been dominating or men are good at this or that. No such myths exist. These are clean slates, and women are the most vulnerable communities who have more at stake if they don't cope with climate change. So if you combine these things together, then women do stand a very good chance, step forward, capture these new sectors before the men get into it, and become the leaders in that. That way you will reduce your own vulnerability, and you will also constructively and productively contribute to actually addressing the problem of climate change for this generation and the future generations. So that is a philosophy on which we are operating since the last few years. My group and I, we have been promoting this idea of green entrepreneurship. We believe that businesses which earn money by protecting the environment, nurturing the environment rather than exploiting the environment, should be the mainstream businesses. We no longer accept the tags of alternatives or boutique kind of small business activities that everybody will buy these fancy eco-friendly products and feel good about it. That is no longer enough. It has to be green businesses which are in charge of food production, in charge of production of electronics goods, in charge of production of vehicles, fuels, in charge of energy supply, water supply, and so on and so forth. So this is an entirely new spectrum of business activities, and we are trying to develop a common identity, bring all these green businesses on a common platform. And it's interesting that there are actually a lot of women who I find are promoters, and they are the startup entrepreneurs in these sectors. So in a way, this has already started happening. In the rural areas, there is a self-help group movement which has sort of got stagnated over the last few years. I mean, if every self-help group is just producing pickles and soft toys and children's clothes, then they just end up competing with each other. So there is this entirely new area of maybe running a microgrid or running a solar-powered cold storage. These are the kind of business activities that are opening up even for rural self-help groups. So there are tremendous opportunities out there where you can get into those and become leaders without having to fight these additional battles of fighting old gender prejudices. So that is something which I want to point out to all the women who are participating in this conference. Explore these fields, and you will find very interesting new opportunities there for career growth, as well as it will give you the I mean, we are sort of making history here. What we do in the next 10 years or so will decide the fate of humanity, to be very frank, as far as climate change is concerned. So take the step forward and become the leaders and show the path. That is definitely possible for young women to do. That is the message that I would like to give here based on my experience. So once again, thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to interact with all of you. Anyone who is interested to explore these avenues more, please do get in touch with me. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much, madam. I found that really the topic what is selected, that is the role of women in entrepreneurship, was we can say the hot topic in today's world. And as you rightly pointed that there are the areas like how to reduce the carbon emission, or the main area where there are the opportunities for the women to work as entrepreneur, as a climate change, and many other areas you told here. So it was really for us, we are fortunate to have your speech on a very an interesting topic as entrepreneurship for the women. And dear audience, we are lucky enough as today's speaker is with us, that is Dr. Priyadarshini Karve, to tell you something about her, that she is a granddaughter of Maharshi Dhondo Keshav Karve. Everybody knows him well, who worked for women empowerment 130 years before. So I think we are really fortunate to have Madam with us on the occasion of Women's Day, International Women's Day, and that too we are celebrating it here by just celebrating international conference. So we are really happy that Dr. Priyadarshini Karpe Madam, you are with us. Thank you very much for your time and for this presentation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now I am handing over mic to Professor Priya Deshpande. So Priya, to you now. Thank you, Savani Madam. Now I request Dr. S.R. Litke, Co-Coordinator of ICGEWE 2023, to present a vote of thanks for the session. Over to you, Litke Madam.
Thank you, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Good afternoon to all the dignitaries and participants present here. I, Dr. Shilpa Litke, express my immense pleasure to stand on behalf of Team ICGEW 2023 to express our deep sense of gratitude to all. I would like to sincerely thank today's chief guest, Dr. Ujjwala Chakradev, Honorable Vice Chancellor, SNDT Women's University, Mumbai. I am thankful to today's guest of honor and chief patron, Honorable Dr. Sanjeev Sonawne Sir, Pro Vice Chancellor, Savitribai Phule Pune University. My heartfelt thanks to Dr. Alka Chopra, President at Soul Body Healing Center, founder Global Woman Power. Special thanks to Madam for making herself available in spite of difference in the time zone. Your story has inspired us to take some more steps towards women empowerment. Thank you, ma'am. A proud moment to thank Dr. Neeta Inamdar Madam, Professor and Head, Manipal Academy of Higher Education. The importance of skill development and financial literacy was very well absorbed by the audience. Thank you once again, ma'am. I express my sincere thanks to Dr. Aishwarya Patil, co-founder and director at Astral Education Limited. Your research on factors influencing career dimensions of women and motherhood will truly create a thought-provoking situation in the society. I express my gratitude towards Dr. Priyadarshini Karve ma'am, Managing Director, Saumuchit Envirotech, for her valuable insights in the domain of clean environment, women entrepreneurship, and ecosystem crisis. Climate change adaptation of women for green entrepreneurship is truly encouraging thing for all of us. I would like to thank Honorable Shri S.P. Redekar Sir, Chief Patron and Honorable Chairman, PVG and Director PVG COET and GKPWIM Pune, for his valuable presence and always encouraging us in conducting all these activities. My sincere thanks to Honorable Professor R.G. Kaduskar Sir, Chief Patron and Honorable Director PVG COET and GKPWIM. He is always with us to encourage us in making all the events successful. My deep sense of appreciation to Honorable Dr. M.R. Tarambe sir, Patron and Honorable In Charge Principal PVG COET and GKPWIM. I am thankful to Dr. Y.B. Thakre sir, Convener and HOD ENTC Department for motivating us in this conference activities. I am thankful to Department of Education and Extension SPPU and Mr. Ashutoshji Vyas, Rajasthan Sociological Association for association in conduction of this conference. My special thanks to advisory committee members for encouraging us and guiding us in this process. Special thanks to session chairs and reviewers for accepting our invitation and guiding us throughout the session. Once again, thanks and all to all of you for gracing this occasion with your presence. Now I would like to request all the participants to kindly join the schedule links provided in the session schedule so that you can present your work in the respective sessions. Session 1A, 1B, 1C will run simultaneously. Kindly follow the links which are provided in the schedule and you can join in the session. Thank you once again. Thank you all.
Thank you, Letke Madam. So with this, I conclude that the session is over and now we can continue with the presentation sessions by the researchers. Thank you.